search of a 2-year-old, and I really wanted to buy something that was so fast that if I made mistakes in the pattern, like, they're still going to clock. So I was on a mission to find a racehorse breed. And I was looking on Barrel Horse World one night, and I came across her picture, and I fell in love with her conformation first, and then I looked at her pedigree, and there was no barrel racing, pedigree really, but she was all race bred. And I called the next day about her, and they had told me that she was a little too small. They hadn't even started her yet. I'm like, why haven't you raced her? Oh, we're thinning the herd and all of that. So I made them an offer, and they took it. And of course, she's in California, and I'm in Oklahoma. So I find a vet to go out there and, shoot some x-rays and make sure she's good. And they did. And then I tried to find a ride back to Oklahoma for her, and I never did. And so I'm like, well, while she's out there, I might as well find somebody to get her broke. So I called some references, and they gave me Devin Clinton's name, and he went and actually picked her up for me, put 60 days on her, and then, what do you know, he was making a trip to Oklahoma City. And so he delivered her, and we have a great friendship now, and he did a tremendously good job on that mare. So that's how I found and bought Callie. Actually, when I started camping on her as a 3-year-old, she, was built a little bit downhill. So when I first got her back, actually, from him getting her broke, and the first time I rode her, I wasn't like super excited because she did run downhill. And so I thought, I don't want a, front endy horse, but I put some front shoes on her, and it just kind of popped her wither up, and next thing you know, she's all balanced. And then, as a 3-year-old, every trainer in the world's got something they want to sell so they can keep, operating and buy hay and, all the things that it takes to, train a barn full of horses. You got to have feed and hay and all these expenses. And so I offered her for sale along with about 4 or 5 others. And I had a couple people try her, but nobody bought her. One lady loved her and said, this is the one I would buy, but there's no way I could hang on to her around the turn. So, but then since I didn't sell her, I just went right on with her. And then she just started clocking, and I knew I had a superstar when she was clocking in the fall. I took her to Heber City, and then I ran her at Judd's, and she ran like a 2, and so I started hunting some slot races. Well, she did win 7 titles her futurity year. Very fortunate for that. Yep, I guess the first one was in Edna, Texas at the Isabella. It's the first year they had it, and she won the futurity and the slot race. So she kind of sweeped that weekend. And then the second one would be the Pac West in Arizona, and then the third one was the Patriot. The fourth win championship was the BBR. And then she did run the fastest qualifying time at Fort Smith Trials. What, a 16.6. That's pretty impressive. I had a little bobble there in the finals and hit a barrel. And then I won the WPRA year-end championship for points for the whole year of 2017. So I earned that during the WPRA final. Callie was very independent, and she was not interested in being loved and petted on. It was more, let's go work, or she liked to hang out in her lot and, have fluffy shavings. But she was not a very lovey-dovey horse, but she had tons of personality. She was always like, let's go, what are we going to do next? Kind of had short attention span. And when she would get bored, which would be like if we had to tie up somewhere for, hours before we ran, or, in that kind of situation, she would like stick her tongue out the side and then play with it and lick the pipe or whatever she was tied to, and she just had a lot of personality. Callie was one of the most amazing athletes like I've ever rode, and I just thank her for the championships and the titles and the wins and our moments that we had together that I actually have pictures of, and I just will always cherish our time together and appreciate every run I had on her. And I know that she's running in God's angel army, and she's got to be the fastest one up there. And I just want to tell her that I'll see her soon.